What's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. In today's video is going to be talking about both pre-patch and war within beta builds for Affliction, Demonology, and Destruction. Links to all of them down below in the description. There's going to be a lot of them. And there's also a link to Pastebin, which will have all the builds updated in the future going into the actual launch, the expansion. Over the past week or so, I guess a few days, we've gotten a lot of things happening with talents on retail and pre-patch. A lot of talents weren't implemented properly. It's sort of buggy. Some tuning wasn't put in. So I want to take some time, to look at the builds on retail I would play now based around the bugs and the under tuning and the things that weren't implemented, and go from there. At the same time, on beta, want to update y'all on builds for Demo, Destro Aff, single target AoE, and all of that. Also, heads up, the Central Weak Aura is indeed being worked on a bit right now. The current copy works fine in the while ago, but I realized Demonology timers weren't working exactly, so we're working on that. Should be fixed in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you want that whenever it's fixed, or any weak auras in general, links to Twitch and Discord down below are for free for you guys. The War Within beta spreadsheet is indeed live on Patreon if you guys want early access to that as well for the tier 3 Failguard rank or higher. It does go public regardless at some point anyways, but it does indeed cover raid stuff, gearing, sims when they're available, as well as talent builds, so on and so forth, for beta and all that. And also the MMO awards voting is ending in a week and a half or so. If you guys want to vote there for me or anybody in general, MMOawards.com. And yeah, I would greatly appreciate it. We've been nominated for Content Creator of the Year. With that being said, let's get it rolling. Alrighty, now we're going to start off on retail. This is going to be pre-patch talent builds for Affliction, Demonology, and Destruction. Starting off with Aff here, not a whole lot really changed. We talked about early on in single target. We're still playing for the same part what we talked about week 1. Malefic Touch is not working with mastery scaling. I think it's likely still worth it in single target. Still playing AC, still playing Dark Lair, Haunt, Improved Haunt, Oblivion, so on and so forth. You do not want to hold your Oblivion for your Singularity window in pre-patch. In actual War Within, you likely will, but that's down the line. This is what I play in single target. We're not playing any points in Malediction because we're not playing Wither, so less value there. Shadow's Embrace, Improved Haunt, and basically full-on single target value down here. And honestly, I think this looks pretty cool because, hey, it's sort of a congruent, whatever that word was in middle school that I learned, when it folds in half the same way. Anyways, there's that. So single target here, shifting to single target cleave build here. Not a crazy amount of changes. All I'm really doing is just pulling points out of Xavius's Gambit and Oblivion and putting them both in Cold of the Week. Cold of the Week is indeed now working for me in pre-patch. I don't know if it was bugged and hotfixed, or I don't know what happened with it, but it's working now. For me, 5 minutes ago, it was working on those dummies over there. Maybe it breaks again. I don't know, but it's working now, so I'm playing it. It is working. It does give still a good bit of like single target damage with, Malefic Touch, all that stuff here. If you want more single target emphasis, you can indeed play, Xavius Gambit and Oblivion over like Malefic Touch and Rapture, but still get like the cleave elements in Cold of the Week. You can play a Vile Tank if you want here, after spawning frequently enough. If that's the case, I'd probably pull a point out of here and put it in Sacrolash, or maybe somewhere else over here for some more damage somewhere else, but that is what I play in a Cleave-esque kind of setting. You can get semi-consistent value out of Cold Week. Now, when it comes to Mythic Plus and AoE, I would opt for something like this, which is a bit of a shift, but still has, the core of what Aff is. Unlike the ST Cleave build here, which is playing Singularity and Shadow Bolt, the M Plus build is playing Drain Soul and Vile Taint with no Infirmity. Now, we also are playing Sacrolash, we're playing a point in Dark Harvest, which you can also play a point in Dark Harvest here in the Cleave build if ads are alive long enough or frequently enough when you're soul rotting. Keep that in mind. But when it comes to M Plus, this is what I'm playing here. Now, I am playing Drain Soul. I've seen some people playing Shadow Bolt, which is better at dumping Nightfall procs by a long shot and all that. I still want shard sniping value in M Plus for Drain Soul, so I'm playing that here. You can do what you want, what you like. Either way, works well. Soul Rot, Malign Omen, Dark Harvest. You got Touch, Rapture, Crescendo, Cold of the Week for big value here. It once again is indeed working on retail. I am playing Vile Taint, obviously, to apply Agony AoE, 2 points of Malediction, and no Infirmity. Links to all these builds down below. When it comes to Demonology, honestly, I changed a good bit with Demo because things are pretty buggy. And you'll see a difference here when it comes to pre-patch and actual beta. So in pre-patch, Doom is bugged. It's not applying every time I hit a mob. So I'm not in single target. In beta, you're playing full Doom row here, but it's not working in pre-patch. It's working in beta, not working in pre-patch. So I've opted to pull these points and put them in 1 point in Dread Calling, 1 point in Tauren, and I believe 1 point went somewhere up here. I forgot where. Oh, in Felsunder, right? What it looks like on beta is, we'll look at it in a minute here too, but it looks like this instead, but this is all broken, so we're not playing this. I am playing this. I think this is likely the best build, if not close to being best when it comes to Demonology in single target in pre-patch. ST Cleave, so like some ad spawning every so often, you get some Cleave elements in there. Not a whole lot really changes. I am pulling a point out of Sack Souls and putting it in Dreadlash. I really don't want to, because Sack Souls is pretty good. Better in beta, but either way, doing that. And besides that, we are changing our dog. Now, I want to hit on this here. This is also a bug. Red dog is better everywhere when it comes to beta because it scales with haste. It does not scale with haste currently in pre-patch because it didn't get fixed before it went live, before pre-patch did and all this stuff. It works in beta, doesn't work in pre-patch. So I'm playing purple dog in single target, red dog in AoE. We're playing the Cleave build here. You can play either or. If you want more AoE emphasis or more single target emphasis. I probably lean towards purple dog, but hey, either way, same thing for the most part. And that is basically that. Not much really changes here. I'm getting Dreadlash. Now, when it comes to M plus AoE, this build here also played Doom. If it was working, you played Doom and Pending, but probably not Packed. Maybe Packed. Once again, it's bugged. When it comes to M plus AoE, I have changed things a bit from what I suggested in the Demonology guide because of things being bugged, undertuned. From what I understand, this is giving 15%, not 30, or maybe not working at all. Not really sure. And I'm not really a huge fan of Guillotine in the first place. So just honestly, not playing that. What we decided to do here, also we were playing Doom and Impending Doom and Plus, but also bugged currently. So I've shifted this build a good bit. I'm playing Red Dog, obviously, for AoE. I am playing Umbral Blaze and Pact the Imp Mother. Umbral Blaze, not very good in AoE. Honestly, not very good in single target, but Pact is good everywhere, universally. And with this being bugged, this all being bugged, I'm not playing this. It's probably more than fine. Playing in Tauren, playing Calling, Dreadlash, Big Dog chomping value up here, Felsunder. And honestly, this build is pretty much demo of retail. You cast your dog. Besides that, you're doing the same thing. Casting imps, imploding, dog cycling, strengthening, so on and so forth. We even found a way to work in Reign of Tyranny here, unlike the previous build, because I wanted Reign number 1. We're not playing Diabolist yet. It's, worth it, obviously, but still a bit more damage in single target. Wanted to play it. I like this build a lot in Plus. I think it beats the crap out of my old build much better. I probably wouldn't even play this in general, even if it was working, because I don't like Guillotine. This is sort of mid too. And Doom, we'll see, but it's buggy now. So if you want links to these builds, down below in the description. And when it comes to Demonology, Destruction, Destro is odd. As we know, Destro has some funkiness to it. If you haven't been paying attention, we're spamming Rain of Fire in single target now. It is a little bit better than Chaos Bolt. It's even better comparatively in War Within, but we'll get to that later on. So I've got 3 builds to sort of show you here. Ignore this one here. We're going to do single target Chaos Bolt. Now, not much really changes here. I also would play this. I'd play Feldom, but whatever. Not much really changes here between the Chaos Bolt build and the Rain of Fire build, right? So you can see the only change here, Chaos Bolt is playing these two. Rain of Fire is playing these two. This build is the better build overall. This build spams Rain of Fire to spend your shards. Only cast Chaos Bolts when you get Ritual of Ruin procs. Besides that, it's just Rain of Fire. They're the same thing pretty much for the most part. You cast Chaos Bolts here all the time, unless you're going to overcap on shards, cast a Rain of Fire. You're casting all rains here with Burn to Ashes and Power Overwhelming, and casting Chaos Bolts with Ritual procs. This is indeed still bugged in pre-patch, giving you 1%. It was from me earlier, at least. Maybe they'll fix it. I'm not really sure. Now, I want to hit on a few things here. We are not playing Shadowburn like we are going to be in beta builds in a minute here, because Shadowburn did not get the 80% buff in pre-patch that it got in beta 2 weeks ago. It didn't. Lost in translation, I'm not really sure. We're not playing this here. We were playing it previously to apply Eradication. I don't think it's even worth it anymore in the Rain of Fire build. I'm not playing it at all. We are playing CDF. CDF and Soulfire did indeed have their synergy broken. This can no longer reset Soulfire, but with Shadowburn not getting the buff and things, there is no other place to put talent points in single target. You're playing CDF, hit it on cooldown, set it and forget it. It is what it is. This is still bugged from what I've seen. I would assume Inferno's still bugged. Not really sure. The better build for Rain of Fire is actually not playing Inferno because it's 3 shards versus 2. And in the end, this build wants to spend shards. So making it 2 shards versus 3 is actually, from what I've seen and heard and things, a little worse than making it 3 baseline. So you're playing this, basically it. As a flex point here, you can move around a bit too. Demon Fire Master, you can go into like Havoc if you want. If you want like Kata, a lot more over like Pyrogenics in the Chaos Bolt build, you know, you can sort of do that too if you want, depending what it is. But these two builds here, for the most part, whether you want Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire, are very similar. If you're playing Bolt build, playing this. If you're playing Rain of Fire build and single target, you're playing this and not this. When it comes to ST Cleave, I am showing you, I guess I should say, the Chaos Bolt build. But you can do the same thing here with the Rain of Fire build. I'm playing Havoc and I am playing Rolling Havoc. Basically we're not playing this, we're not playing Ashen Remains here because I mean, I like Ashen. I think it's good. And honestly, it's probably better to play this here in the Chaos Bolt build of this. But if I was wanting to play a Rain of Fire build that had Cleave, like Havoc based elements in it, I would go like this. Now this here, bang bang, and probably pull this and put it into here because it does increase Incinerate, but we're not really casting Bolt very much. Maybe it's better here. I'm not a huge fan of like Rolling Havoc in general. I think it's sort of undertuned. But either way, if you want to keep it in Ashen, feel free. If you want more Rolling Havoc Cleave, go for it. But if you want the Chaos Bolt, you know, like Cleave version with Havoc, I would play this right here. If you want the Rain of Fire version where you're casting Rain of Fire, but putting up Havoc, I guess, generate shards, whatever, in Cleave settings, I would just do this. Cast your Rain of Fires, just like that. Once again, pretty much all the same. Not a whole lot really changes. When it comes, links down below. When it comes to M+ and AoE, this is sort of where I've landed. Sorry for hitting the mic there. If you notice, there's not really a huge difference here between these builds. But we are not playing CDF anymore. I don't think it's worth it. It does not reset Soulfire. We are playing Soulfire and M+ and AoE. I'm just going to go into Pyrogenics, into Inferno, Havoc, no CDF stuff, who cares? I am not playing Bolt here. I'm casting Rain of Fire in single target in this build. Once again, if you want to play Bolt in M+, whatever, you can hold these points and go like this, but this is a lot more relevant in AoE. I mean, it's more relevant in the sense because you're AoEing and things, and this fits this profile better, I would say, than, you know, playing Bolt in AoE. To a similar extent, if you want to play Fire and Brimstone, with Burned Ashes, you can do that too, or Flashpoint. Just know you're not getting Flashpoint value, but Flashpoint's a little better. Up to you. These are the builds I'd run. Links to them all down below. I might not have links to like the exact, you know, ST Cleave, Rain of Fire build versus Chaos Bolt build, but honestly, like I said, you can just change it. 1 or 2 points, change it all up. And that is that for pre-patch, taking into account the bugs and everything. Hopefully it helps. Let's talk about beta talents. Alrighty, I am now on beta. These are going to be beta talents for Beta Warlock in the War Within beta flashing. So hero talents might vary a little bit depending on what ends up being better in Sims with tuning and all that being taken into account later on, but this is where I'm currently at with Affliction in single target. Now the difference here between the retail build, we are playing a point in Sacrolash, we are not playing a point in Improved Haunt. We are playing 2 points in Malediction, no point in Malignancy, and no point in Withering Bolt. Now, I have debated this point in Sacrolash or Malignancy. They're very close, but I think playing this version of Hellcaller, Wither is often ahead of Rapture by a little bit when it comes to single target breakdowns, and often more ahead when it comes to AoE. So I've opted to land on this build here. Sims aren't done for hero talents. Sorry, it's this in single target, not playing Drain Soul. It's this. I've landed here. This is what I think is likely best, it's not very close to being best. This does indeed scale with Mastery. Now, the bug is working on beta. There's no bug on beta. It works fine. This does work on AoE, which it does work on retail currently too. Not playing it in single target, but it does indeed work. 2 points in Malediction because we are playing Wither. Wither hurts very badly. Is it a dot? It's dot. It is good. This is what I'm playing. I will say I wouldn't mind playing Death's Embrace in certain points too. Some fights like Rashanon in Narrow Palace, the one that starts at half health. This is probably very good there, but you know, we'll see where it goes. When it comes to single target Cleave, very similar to retail. Actually, pretty much the same for the most part, barring playing, you know, point here and all that kind of stuff. We are not playing Xavius Gambit or Oblivion. I'm putting 2 points over here in Cold a Week, giving you that 16% Rapture increase if it's 2 targets, 24 of 3, 32 of 4, 40 of 5, so on and so forth. It does work perfectly. When it comes to beta, No issues there from what I've seen. And it is a bit customizable again as well. Like retail, you can indeed play a Vital Taint if add spawning more often. You want that value. If I am playing Vital Taint, I pull this point out of, you know, Infirmity and throw it somewhere else, probably down here in Legacy probably. But either way, this is what I play when it comes to Cleave based builds. And when it comes to AoE builds on beta, I've been playing this in dungeons, shifting from Shadowbolt to Drain Soul, all playing Hellcaller here, Vital Taint stuff, and Dark Harvest. I will say Soul Harvester is not bad with AF at all. It's not as bad as you might think it is, but Hellcaller I think is better. It needs some buffs here and there, but it's getting there. Playing Drain Soul here, some people are playing Shadowbolt. Don't know what that was. People are playing Shadowbolt, but I would rather have Drain Soul for shard sniping, all that. Is that what you want? Either way, that works. We are playing Vital Taint, and we are playing 1 point down here in Dark Harvest, and also 2 points here in Cold of the Week, obviously. This has been fixed this week. I haven't even done any runs with it yet in dungeons, but it is going to be 40% on every target hit, as long as you're hitting 5 or more, and plus, versus, you know, the bug version giving you partial amounts of that at, you know, that target count. So actually a pretty big buff this week coming into AF. We'll see how it is in beta tomorrow when we play it, or today this video comes out, and go from there. But yeah, playing all this for Hellcaller. Links to the builds down below if you want them. And let's look at Demonology. So Demo is different from where we are in retail, because Demo is not bugged on beta. When it comes to single target Demonology, this is what I am playing. This has been the highest build for me in retail sims, not taking into account hero talents or anything. I am playing Diabolist on all of them. Soul Harvester is not bad for Demonology. I think it's pretty close actually, but I am playing Diabolist here. The big difference between retail and this, Doom is not bugged on beta. So I'm playing Doom. I'm playing Impending Doom. This was fixed this week to give you an imp now. It wasn't working before. And I am playing Pact of the Aerodrome, which is your Doom Guard, right? I am playing Fire Dog here across the board as well, because you can see, if you go back to the section somewhere for beta, or for pre-patch, I'm sorry, you'll see that the Fire Dog does not scale with haste. It says damage to enemies within 10 yards every 1 second. That's if I have 1% haste or 1000% haste on retail. Same thing. In pre-patch. In beta, it does scale. You can see 0.8 seconds. Purple Dog does not say that. So we are playing Red Dog everywhere. It is better with more haste. There's that. We are playing no Dread Calling, no Tauren for Umbral Blaze and Pact the Mother. Pact works. It's just, I've simmed this. This is ahead by about 1000 DPS, I believe, over this and this. It's surprising, but I am playing Sack Souls. It's bigger Tyrants with Tyrian at times, Sack Souls value, all that kind of stuff. And when Shadow Bolt is increased by 50% in your tier bonus, among other things, and a big part of your damage, it sort of makes sense that this beats it out a little bit. So yeah, that's basically that in single target. When it comes to single target Cleave, I shift a few things around here. We're no longer playing Pact and Imp Mother and stuff here. Sorry, Umbral Blaze and Imp Mother. I'm playing a point in Dreadlash, a point in Dread Calling, a point in Tauren, more Cleave, all that kind of stuff, right? These are both very close to this as well. When it comes to single target, I'm playing a point in Doom, a point in Impending Doom, but no point in Pact of the Aerodrome, which I might look at playing. I think there's a good chance I just play this over Dread Calling, but it depends how much extra Cleave you want and how often the ads are stacked, because this does not volley Doom Bolts, it just casts a single target one. It's still good, it's still fine in single target, but if you want more, if there's more consistent Cleave, where ads are spawning quite often, you might want Dread Calling to buff your dog set every single time. Not sure, we're going to see where it goes, but this is what I am playing tentatively right now in ST Cleave, and that is that. When it comes to AoE builds, this is what I'm playing. Not a whole lot changing here. I am playing Felsunder, and I am playing Shadow Invocation, but this should actually be down here. I didn't save it. This should be down here. Now, Shadow Invocation was changed to not work off of like Hand of Gul'dan and splash effects anymore. It's still fine, but the damage seems relatively low. And increasing Doom, which you can spread, you know, Doom brands, all that kind of stuff, with Impending Doom, giving a damage increase and an imp, does seem better to me. I am playing a point in Sack Souls. If you don't want to put this here, you can put it over in Shadow Invocation, somewhere else, that is fine. But Sack Souls literally says, hey, you're doing 8% Shadow Bolt damage, you're doing 16 now. It is multiplicative, it doubles it. In Shadow Bolt, it might not be huge in AoE on trash packs, but it is good in single target, which is a part of M+. So I'm considering it's the M+ build. On bosses, I definitely want Sack Souls. It's 1 point to double your Shadow Bolt damage, which is a lot of our damage through this, through Rune of Shadows, through other effects, and our tier bonus being a 50% Shadow Bolt damage increase. So there is that. that is what I'm playing for Demonology. Links to all these builds down below. If you import the Cleave build here, I might have a point up here in Shadow Invocation. Make sure I don't put it in Doom. You can experiment and go from there, and that is that. All right, so when it comes to single target, just destro builds in general on beta. This is beta. They're actually the same when it comes to single target. They're similar, I should say. Rain of Fire and Chaos Bolt spenders in single target also exist on beta, and Rain of Fire is even more ahead of Chaos Bolt on beta than it is on retail comparatively, because Rain of Fire is buffed by 35% last week on beta, not on retail. I have indeed played both Diabolos and Hellcaller. I'm playing Hellcaller more lately. Both are good. You want to play both, go for it. They're both fun, honestly. Diabolos is very cool visually. I'm playing Hellcaller. Both are one and the same. When it comes to destro stuff, this is the single target Rain of Fire build. You're going to cast Rain of Fire in single target. You're going to cast Chaos Bolt only when you get a Ritual of Ruin proc, which spawns an avatar and stuff. Technically, you can cast Rain of Fire too, not a huge loss, but I would cast Chaos Bolt. You are playing Shadowburn here and Blistering Atrophy, and that is the difference between retail and beta. Shadowburn was buffed by 80% last week on beta, but that buff didn't make it to retail. So you're not playing Shadowburn all on retail, but you're playing it here on beta. We're not playing CDF in these builds. I will say the CDF Soulfire synergy does exist still on beta. They did not break that on beta, but they broke it on retail, but they're going to break it at some point. There's no chance they change that in pre-patch and not on beta. So I am playing Shadowburn. We are playing Blistering Atrophy here. We should not be playing a point in Flashpoint. We should be playing a point over here in... Where's this go? It goes over here in Fiendish Cruelty. Play this point over here in Fiendish Cruelty because we're not playing Flashpoint due to the fact that we have Seeds of Their Demise giving us Flashpoint stacks a good portion of the time. This point can also be moved up to here into a Havoc Cleave base build if you want, which gives you Cleave elements with the single target Rain of Fire elements all still there. So very customizable. Not a whole lot really changes a whole lot. If you want Cleave elements, that is that. When it comes to the other build in single target, the Chaos Bolt build, this build, only thing it changes compared to Rain of Fire is taking these points here, just like retail, out of Burned Ashes and Power Roaming, Improved Chaos Bolt, and Chaos Incarnate. To a similar extent, if you want to play this build in Cleave settings where Havoc is relevant, take this point here, toss it up there, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. There you go. You're not cleaving as destro. That is basically the extent of both builds in single target and or factoring in Cleave. I have 4 build links down below to all 4 of these if you want them. That is that. When it comes to the final build here in AoE, I am recommending the Rain of Fire build, casting Rain of Fire in single target, but also it's good in AoE. You're playing Inferno here, you're playing Havoc, you're playing Shadowburn and Blistering Atrophy, Burned Ashes, and Power Overwhelming. No Chaos Bolt stuff here because, Inferno amps, AoE, all kind of stuff, right? Due to the Shadowburn buff being part of beta as well, you do indeed want to cast Shadowburn essentially on CD and single target, whether you're playing Rain of Fire build or Chaos Bolt build, because the damage is just good. One shard, instant cast, good damage. It's strong. And when you're playing the Rain of Fire build, whether it's, in AoE like this build or even in single target, you want to cast Shadowburn to apply and maintain Eradication, because you're only casting Chaos Bolt in that build or this build whenever you get Ritual of Ruin procs and their instant cast. So honestly, the builds really don't change a whole lot. They're all pretty much set in stone for the most part, talent wise. A few flex points here and there. That's not bad. Links to all of those down below if you want them, and that is beta. So thanks for watching, guys. Wraps it up, and hopefully it's might have clarified on anything you were concerned about or curious about with talent builds for Warlock and pre-patch and actual beta. Like I said, Blizzard ended up changing something on the back end. I can't talk today apparently, which broke all the talent codes from before. But these codes down below in the description do indeed work. Should be good to go. And all of that. If you guys want any weak warriors on the video, links to Twitch and Discord down below as well, where you can get them for free. At the same time, a massive shout out to my patrons. I'll support on Patreon like always, y'all. Thank y'all a million times. I greatly appreciate it. If you look at supporting on Patreon, should be a link up here as well as down below in the video description. And yeah, that's that. Now, there are a lot of bugs still present on retail when it comes to Warlock stuff. Lock is in a pretty bad spot in retail, probably the worst class overall in the actual pre-patch. But the cool thing is it doesn't even matter because pre-patch is a fun time. Play what you want, play with new talents, all that kind of stuff. Damage, yeah, it's cool to be overtuned. It's cool to do big damage, but we're better and more within in actual beta with hero talents. So glass half full. We're getting closer to more within. So keep that in mind. And hopefully tuning comes soon regardless of pre-patch. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, hit the like and sub button below. Helps out a ton. I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.